So before we get into the recipe, we have to get into the word. And the scripture that I chose for this particular recipe came from Matthew chapter 14, verses 19 through 21. Make sure you read it on your own time and get a full understanding of it the way that God gives it to you. Now let's get into this recipe. We're going to start by seasoning our chicken with some salt, black pepper, Mrs. Dash seasoning, some onion powder, garlic powder, some sweet and smoky rub, Worcestershire sauce, however you say it, and a little liquid smoke, some balsamic vinaigrette dressing, and my secret ingredient is mayonnaise to make it creamy and keep a lot of the moisture in that chicken. While that's marinating, we're going to go ahead and get started on our cabbages. We're going to start by browning our onions and bell peppers, whichever ones you like. And I do a little salt and pepper to bring out the taste. Once those are good and caramelized, we're going to add our turkey sausage. And we're going to brown them on each side. While that's browning, we're going to get started on browning our butter for the chicken. I like to use brown butter for this recipe, so don't be alarmed. Let it sit for a minute. We're going to take out our turkey sausage, add a little more butter, and then we're going to add our bell peppers and onions back into that, along with our cabbages. And I just used some leftover cabbages that I froze. I had half of a cabbage left over from a recipe before. And then we're going to add a little total seasoning and some Mrs. Dash. And we're also going to add a little garlic powder. Usually I like to use a seasoning called Eat Your Green seasoning, but I didn't have any left, so I just used what I had on hand. Season it how you like for your cabbages to taste. Now that our chicken's been sitting for a little bit, we're going to go ahead and add that to the pan, to that brown butter. We're going to get them nice and brown on both sides. Make sure they're cooked all the way through. Once our cabbages are good and tender, we're going to add our sausage back to those cabbages and let them sit for a little while and get a little bit of that smoky taste from the sausage in those cabbages. When you flip your chicken, it should look good, brown, and pretty, just like this. Now for our sweet potato, we're just going to add some butter, a pinch of salt, some cinnamon, a little nutmeg, and I like to use honey because I like the taste of honey, and some vanilla flavor. Gonna mix that all in together until it's nice and smooth, and our dinner is done.